learning the text so well, learning TR1, knowing that the training stress was that the command went from the book to the student and as his own to the coach. From the book to the student and as his own to the coach. First was duplication. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise them. The evil that men do lives after them. The good's often teared with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble brothers, I told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it were a grievous fault, and grievous has Caesar answered it. He earned the leave of Brutus and the rest to come at his preconceived funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. Yet Brutus says he is as ambitious, and as we know, Brutus is an honorable man. Duplication. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good, often teared with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. He was my friend. He was faithful and just to me, but yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And as we know, Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see at the Lupercal that I thrice presented him with a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and as we know, Brutus is an honorable man. Ownership? No. Good performance. It wasn't ownership. It was a degree of performance. Ownership is you are it. You say to the person, do birds fly? And they answer the question and they don't even know why. You have complete ownership. The command goes from the book to the student and as his own to the coach. TR3, new units of time, as if they had never occurred before. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise them. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. Friends, Romans, new units of time, as if they had never existed before. Training, skills, abilities. I would audit to the grades to abilities. Yes, we'd have many cognitions, many floating natures, many feeling goods. But was the person able to communicate to anyone on any subject comfortably? Could they call their mother and tell them they had decided to be a prostitute? Because it was fun? I just think it'd be fun, Ma. You know. I would test the pre-clear. I would not allow them to do a test. They either had the ability or they didn't. They either had the ability for someone to tell them anything and remain comfortable with that communication, or they didn't. Did it throw them into mental equations? Did it cause them to resist? Did it cause them to protest what they were saying? Did they get upset when somebody declared them SP? If they did, their TR0 is out. Sorry. A higher level of TR0 maybe, but still being able to be comfortable. I had a woman who had spent $250,000 in Scientology attempting to get over her fear of spiders and had failed to get over the fear and came to me. I don't know why it was, but after all the failures, they ended up on my doorstep. And she said, I want to handle this. I said, okay, we'll handle it. What are you going to do? She said, we're going to go look at some spiders. No, we're not. No way. I said, how about looking at a picture of a spider in a book? No. Come on. Take a look. It's only a picture. Can't move. Can't hurt you. Take a look. What do you say? I won't tell you the whole story because it took days. She would look at the picture until she'd go, oh, it's horrible, it's horrible. I said, what's horrible? What are you looking at? Look. Obnosis, observe the obvious, it's a picture. Gradually, I got her comfortable looking at the picture, then another picture, then another picture. I said, what are we going to do next? We're going to go to a pet store with spiders in it. Oh, no, we're not. Okay, look, how about if we go to a coffee shop across the street from a pet store and it's got spiders in it? It took a long time to get her to just see the pet store, not spiders in her mind. And then we got into the pet shop and then closer and closer and closer to the cage. This woman, honest to God, today has pet tarantulas. She puts them on her hand. They crawl up her arm behind her neck. Freaks me out. It's on an hour and a half in? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. She says, you can handle that. I said, I didn't pay to handle it. I didn't ask you for any processing, And the same other thing with a woman who was afraid of water. She was on a ship going to Australia, afraid of water. I got her to go up on the upper deck, look down until she could comfortably observe the pool without pictures. Move gradually closer. A day later, I hear her voice screaming at me from the middle of the pool as two bruisers are dunking her in the pool, screaming it worked. Trained TR0 with another client, didn't see him for 4 years. After 4 years he came, he said, I got to tell you a great story, John. He says, I went up in the Canadian wilderness to see if I could live comfortably alone in the middle of nowhere. He said, I succeeded. It took a while. I got comfortable. He says, one day I got up, I was feeling great. I was feeling like King Kong, all keyed out, feeling great. Space, like I owned the universe. Walked out the door and bumped into a Kodiak bear. Boom. The bear stood up on his hind legs. He was not pleased with this. He said, I knew my TR0 had to go in or I was going to die. And he said, start, to himself. He's looking at the bear, trying to get comfortable. He wasn't comfortable, he was staring at him, but he worked at it. He said the bear took a swipe at him, cut his nose, blood started streaming down his face, and he went, flunk, start. He said, and all of a sudden, I got comfortable. He said, I wasn't not-ising anything. It was a bear. He could kill me. But I was comfortably perceiving him. He said the bear looked at him, got down on his hind legs, and went back in the forest. On the doctorate tapes, Ron talked about the tarot cards, an ancient philosophy, in which we only have the remnants today, the cards. And that there was the fool, the wisest man of all. But the philosophy read, knowing all agreement, he has passed out of agreement, and dogs will jump through him, and they pass through his body. Because he has been comfortable. The Japanese have a character called Zatoichi. Everybody go, Zatoichi. Please, Zatoichi. Oh, come on. Zatoichi. He's a blind samurai swordsman. A friend of mine told me to go see the movies. I finally went and saw one. I'm sitting in the theater. It's black and white. I don't like black and white. By the way, if you judge anything, you feel lousy. I judge that I don't like black and white. I feel lousy. He looks like a street person. He's going down the street. I'm going, what the hell is this movie? He goes into an inn. He sits down. He orders a bowl of soup. Some really cool-looking samurai are in there, and they look over him like a street person. Ooh, they make judgments. He's eating the soup, a fly starts buzzing around his head. Bzz, 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 bzz. He goes to swat the fly, spills the soup. The samurai go, oh, disgusting. Ugh. This goes on and on ad nauseum. I'm about to walk out of the theater. I thought, what the hell is this? My friend told me it's a good movie. Just as I'm about to walk out of the theater, like the Japanese knew it or something. The sword comes out. And the fly is walking across the table with no wings. And the samurai go, "Oh, Zatoichi!" Now he's making them look bad. He's keying in their service facsimiles. So they got to kill him. They hire a ninja to kill him. Ninja assassin. Next scene, you see him, he's walking down the street, filthy dirt street. Samurai's after him. Samurai moves like a cat, like the James Bond of his day. Walks across rice paper, no sound. Martial, oh yeah! He's a fool, right? Bumbling down there. Samurai gets him in a key position and throws the dagger with deadly accuracy. The hilt of the sword that has been swinging back and forth just happens to pass into the path of the dagger and catches it. You go, oh, Zatoichi. Did he do that on purpose? Or? The quality has failed, so they hire a mob of samurai to get him. You know, the ninja failed, he's got to kill himself, you know. Seppuku, you know, yuck. Talk about TR0. So they hire this mob, and the mob's after Zatoichi. There's about 40 of them. They chase him into an alley. They're looking around, they can't find him. One of them points to a wooden barrel and goes, "He's in the barrel." They tip the barrel over. There's 40 of them. And they're spinning the barrel, trying to get an advantage. They're going to make him dizzy. And then they right the barrel and they attack the barrel. He kills 3 of them through the barrel. And the barrel comes apart like a neatly carved orange peel. And he says, "Fools, you can't make me dizzy. I'm blind." And he casually kills the rest of them. And you go, "Oh, this guy's good. This is a master." Do you know in the hierarchy of the samurai religion, Zatoichi is not a master? Because the master is never attacked. The master offers no resistance to the existing reality. He does not judge the reality as bad. He does not mock up enemies who can affect him. He does not mock up governments that can suppress him. He is aware that all beings are playing their chosen games, that they are, in this planet, masters of limitation. They are OTs, mastering, proving to themselves that they are unable, proving to themselves that they are aberrated. I was enthralled with Ron's study tapes when I first got in, and he talked about a copyright congress in England that had changed the original source meanings of words because certain suppressors found that when people knew these concepts, they were almost impossible to control. So I went out to get the dictionaries to see whether the old man was right or not. I bought dictionaries prior to 1911. I bought a Funk and Wagnall Standard Dictionary of the English Language and found religion defined as follows: to go through again in thought. That's different. I bought a 12-volume set of the encyclopedia, the Century Dictionary Encyclopedia, CYCLO. It was a chronology of the language, about the size of the old Encyclopedia Britannica. Our dictionaries define words in order of common usage, the first one being the most commonly used, and then going down to specialized definitions, and then to the archaic, sometimes giving the source meaning and sometimes not. These dictionaries were a chronology of the language. They took the original source concept and meaning of the word and traced its alterations through history and literature.